What's going on, guys? Welcome back. And today I really wanted to do something I haven't really done a lot of, doing individual ride reviews, because I prefer just personally going to the park and getting the reaction and reviewing the ride directly afterwards, as it kind of is more meaningful and it's more actual. But today I really wanted to shed some light on this ride. I really want this ride to get some more attention, because when it's different rides are thrown around to enthusiasts like Steel Vengeance, Fury 325, Intimidator 305, and Mr. Freeze and stuff like that, this one kind of gets thrown on the back burner. So I kind of wanted to do a review and try to give this thing a little bit of extra love, because this thing is a complete freaking powerhouse. This thing is, it's great, it's amazing. So we're just gonna do a review on it, talk about it a little bit, and have some fun with it while we're at it. Shockwave opened at the park at Six Flags Over Texas. This coaster is actually older than I am, and probably older than most of the people watching this video. It was opened in 1978, and at the time it was the tallest, pretty much it was the tallest roller coaster in the world at the time. It was 116 feet. I know right now 116 feet ain't nothing, but back then it was such a big deal. But of course, a couple weeks later, the Loch Ness Monster at Busch Gardens decided to take that crown. This ride is about 116 feet tall. It's got a drop of 105 feet, reaching top speeds of 60 miles per hour with 2 inversions, with 3,600 feet of track. Lateral forces on this ride are positive G's. We have a lot of positive G's. When you're coming off the first drop, you go into that double loop at 60 miles per hour, you're getting 5.9 G's. That's pretty significant, and you can feel it. It's probably one of the good points of the ride. The lift hill and the first drop is kind of meh, but once you hit the loops and you're getting those positive G's, and you finally hit the trims, once you hit the trims, you know what's about to happen. It's going to be a great ride. This ride is, if you want the best promising ride, the best ride for this ride is going to be in the back seat, because the back seat has the most airtime, and it only has 3 spots of ejector airtime in this ride. After you go through the double loops, you'll go through a small trim, and then you'll have a really big airtime drop. It's pretty significant. Then you'll go up, you'll make a left bank turn, you'll have another airtime drop, and then you'll get a small ejector moment right there before you pull into the station. The thing that I really enjoy about this ride the most is the fact that there are lap bars and seat belts, nothing, no over the chest restraints, which kind of constrict you and make it very, very uncomfortable. It's not like its Vekoma rival at Six Flags St. Louis, Ninja, where you've got over the chest restraints, or even Shockwave at King's Dominion, which isn't there anymore, but was also a stand-up coaster. But the lap bars, they're so good because you have a chance of really not getting stapled with these things. They're padded. The seats are pretty good padded, but it's overall a very, very comfortable ride. I remember the smoothness of the ride from the very first time I rode it last year till just this past weekend when we rode it. It's still the same. The smoothness is still the same from the very first time to a year later. Nothing's changed as far as it being rough. It's not a rough ride. It's a really, really smooth ride. But the airtime in this ride in the back seat is what really defines what this ride. This will probably be the second time I've talked about airtime, because you're not going to understand the amount of airtime that you get on this ride until you ride it. You'll hear this ride and you'll be like, well, it was made in the 70s, okay, and you think, oh, well, it's probably trash, because it's so old. But it's not trash. It is probably my It's a tie between my second or third best ride at Six Flags Over Texas, because I have a hard time picking that one over New Texas Giant, being the fact that New Texas Giant is an RMC and it's bigger, and the duration is a little bit longer, and there's more airtime in Giant than Shockwave. But Shockwave is up there in a way that the airtime kind of defines it and makes it into a really good ride. And even if you don't like airtime and you don't want a whole lot of it, you can position yourself in the car to where you don't get a whole bunch of airtime, and you'll still enjoy the ride, and you'll still have a really good ride. It's still smooth. You still get the 5.9 positive G's. You still get to have a lot of fun. The ride itself is, like I said, it's smooth. It doesn't matter where you sit. It's going to be a really, really smooth ride. It's great. The thing that I really wish that Six Flags Over Texas would do, I'm not sure if they do it for safety purposes or not, the trim brakes after the double loop. Sometimes they hit really hard and they'll slow the train down significantly. Other times they kind of just touch the surface a little bit, and it doesn't really slow the train down a whole lot, and you get more airtime. So someone like me wants the trims to be turned off so that way we can get more airtime and more speed. But at the same time, we can't sacrifice safety for excitement. So that's my only really bad thing I have to say about this ride is the trim brakes. I mean, because everything else in the ride, even when you hit the brakes at the end, it's not like Poltergeist at Six Flags Fiesta Texas when you hit the freaking brakes and you feel like you're gonna, crack your sternum or something like that. It's nothing like that. So this ride, if you go to Six Flags Over Texas, this ride is definitely a must ride. It's probably, based on when the coaster was made, it's probably one of the best coasters of its time. By far, no questions asked. And it's a Swerve coaster, and so they were known for making their looping coasters. And when they made this thing, it's a freaking masterpiece. Because they also added virtual reality several years back where you could ride the ride with the VR glasses, which was actually pretty dope and pretty cool. Kind of wish they would bring that back now, but with COVID and everything, I don't really see that being a possibility with keeping everything sterilized. And I really don't think they want to change a whole lot in terms of VR, unless Six Flags Fiesta Texas start doing their Superman VR rides again, and then I'm pretty sure that Six Flags Over Texas is going to start doing their Shockwave VR, because they like to compete with one another. But that's a topic for a different video. We'll catch you in the next one. If you haven't already, hit that subscribe button. If you really want to help support the channel, hit that like button. Comment something down below. What do you think about Shockwave? What are you guys' comments on it? Do you guys like it? Do you dislike it? Do you like the airtime? Do you think the ride needs to be a different color? Let me know in the comments, and we will see you guys in the next one. Peace.